Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about Gabriel Zamora's apology video. I'm simply going to provide you with a timeline inclusive of the deleted tweets and snaps in case you missed anything as it was unfolding, so let's jump right into it. On August 21st, Jeffree Star tweeted, "I know I've been quiet about certain things, eyeball emoji. Just know there are still so many missing pieces and questions that will be revealed soon, and not by me." This tweet was quickly deleted, but a few hours later, Gabriel Zamora uploaded a 48-minute video titled My Truth, where he made several apologies and thoroughly discussed the recent drama surrounding himself and his friends. I'll link Gabby's video in the description box below, but in a nutshell, he starts off by apologizing to his audience for letting them down and being the negative, petty person he didn't want to be. He further explained that he's holding himself accountable for his actions. He then apologizes and takes full responsibility for his old tweet that surfaced from 2012. He didn't want to offer any excuses as to what his train of thought was at the time, but says it was ignorant and stupid and didn't come from a place of hate. He went on to say that he hopes his actions since that time have shown that he's learned and that he's better educated. The third apology was to Jeffree Star. He explained that his apology was for everything, not just the tweets and the photo, but for creating an image of someone based on what others were telling him. Gabby advised that what he said in the caption of his tweet wasn't intended to be bullying, but he realizes that's the way it came off. With respect to the context of the tweeted photo, Gabby clarified that their intent was to recreate Kylie's birthday photo and not to disrespect or bash Jeffree. He took it upon himself to tweet the photo with the caption "Bitch is bitter because without him we're doing better," and that nobody else saw the tweet before he tweeted it. He goes on to describe the story in detail in his video, but there are a few points I want to highlight. When explaining his reason for shading Jeffree in that tweet, he indicates that he was basically tired of Jeffree's pettiness towards his friends online, and he took full responsibility of his shade towards Jeffree.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm just tired of this person constantly doing this to y'all. Because I keep hearing he does this, he does that, he does this, he does that. He's such a malicious person. He's so mean, he's this. I keep hearing these things and I'm like, I'm fed up.
Interestingly, Gabby mentions that this person, meaning Jeffree, has never done anything to him personally. He goes on to say that he fluffed up tweets because he wanted to create a narrative which he says wasn't fair, and now realizes how that affects people because a certain narrative was painted about him in this process. I would personally love to know which tweets he fluffed up. Did he lie about Jeffree saying racist things in his presence to appeal to the narrative of his friends, or was that the truth? That's the only point I feel like Gabby should have clarified further. Anyway, after he posted the tweet, Gabby explains how the situation was beginning to escalate.
I'm still seeing tweets. I'm still seeing more and more things come up. And it's like becoming a lot, like even for me. Like I know I started it, so I'm gonna take full responsibility for it. But it's a lot. So during that process, Nikita comes up and she's like, "Hey, like, just so you know, sir, like it looks like we all did this. Like it looks like all four of us were in on this, and it looks like it's like we're bullying him." And I'm like, oh crap. And they're starting to get a bunch of hate because of my tweet. And I'm like, oh crap, like this isn't fair for me to pull someone into this. And I fully took responsibility and I apologized to my friends. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry because I drug you into this mess and I'm bringing you into this mess. And it was like, oh no, it's fine. It's fine. We'll get through this. We're in it together. It's fine. I apologized to Laura. I apologized to Manny. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And it was very much the narrative of, it's just really bad timing. So it's not fair that you try to make it seem like we hate him. It's just really bad timing because of this docuseries and everybody's on his side.
Gabby then explains that he went to Laura asking if there was something he could do to make the situation better, to which she asked if he would mind deleting the photo, as there were a lot of comments and false accusations being made about her family. He agreed and deleted the tweet for that reason.
That's why I deleted that tweet. Because Laura asked me after I offered, how do I fix this? Let that be clear.
I'm not going to go into detail about how every little thing transpired. You can obviously watch Gabby's video, so we'll skip to the part where the damage control began.
We then get on our flight back to the US, back to LA, and I just decide to go to sleep. And I'm like, just try to sleep this off, or like try to like decompress, like go to sleep, just go to sleep. And I slept for the majority of the flight, and I wake up probably 2 hours before we land. And 15 minutes into it, my friends come up to me. And the conversation is led, and I'm going to be honest, the conversation is led by Manny. Laura chimes in every once in a while. Nikita didn't say anything. And I was just watching it all. I'm assessing everything. I'm like, okay, like what's going on? The conversation is had of, hey, just so you know, it's becoming a lot more. And I'm like, okay. And we've been talking to our managers and our PR team, and we've just been thinking of a PR way to handle this. And I'm like, okay. And they have recommended that you take full accountability for the photo, you apologize for the photo, and you apologize to us for us not being involved. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I don't like that it seemed that I was the only one who thought this. I don't like that it was like, oh, Gabriel, you're gonna take full accountability. Cool, I did tweet it, but let's not try to make it seem like other people didn't really think these things. So I'm like, okay, cool, but I will take full accountability. I will take that. If I will take full accountability. So it is then, you're gonna have to apologize first. This is all Manny. Laura's like chiming in, but one of the parts that kind of annoyed me was I wasn't given the respect of being looked at in the eyes while this is being had, while I'm being told what to do. So I'm like, I'm starting to see these things. I'm like, okay, read people's body language. I'm staring at him and I'm not, it's just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. You're gonna have to take full accountability. Your apology is gonna have to go out first. So I would start working on it. And based off of your apology, this person goes next, this person goes next, and I will be last. And we'll all gauge kind of like what the other one needs to fix. And I'm like, okay, if you're sorry, you're sorry. Just put it out there. I don't understand why it has to be like this, and this. No, like why are we setting up others' apology for success? If you're sorry, just apologize and be sorry. I'm like, okay, cool.
Gabby then explains how on the car ride home, he received a text from Manny saying, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? Gabby didn't reply as he was feeling nauseous and focusing on not throwing up. Near the end of the 45-minute cab ride home, Gabby received another text from Manny saying, hey, we really need you to put out this apology because it's a shitstorm for everybody else.
And I'm like, wait, didn't you just text me wondering how I am? You don't hear from me? And then it's, hey, cool, okay, interesting. I'm not texting you back because your headspace wasn't to see if I was good. It was to see, when am I putting this out? Cool. So I come home and I write my own apology.
Gabby went on to say that Laura put out her apology first because she didn't want to wait. Gabby followed with his apology and then he went to sleep.
Manny's apology wasn't an apology because there wasn't an I'm sorry in there. His initial quote tweet of mine. I wake up that Tuesday and I get a notification that he had quote tweeted me. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay, let me go to it. Thank you for owning up to it and all these things. I'm like, excuse me? So I screenshot it because I'm like, wait, am I crazy? Thank you, Gabby, for speaking up. We took that photo with the intent of recreating Kylie's 21st birthday picture with her sisters. True. The reason I liked it was because it was a photo of the four of us being silly the night before. I didn't read the caption as I had been running around. He was in his hotel, just so you know, when he was liking and responded to it. Maybe he was running around his hotel room. That might be the case. But you can't tell me that you didn't read that tweet. It was a short sentence and it starts with a curse word and it's the photo of us four. You're just gonna like something and respond to it? No. That's not what we're gonna do. And then once I was notified about the caption from you all, I removed my like and asked Gabby to take it down as the photo was supposed to be a fun recreation and nothing more. I wasn't asked by him to take it down. When I said earlier, I asked Laura, how would you like me to better these things? That's why I took it down.
This is where shit got real. Gabby starts going in on Manny and calling him out for creating a self-serving narrative. He also makes reference to Manny's track record and how he has a history of using people.
Let that be clear. So that's why I'm like, why are you now creating this narrative? The same thing you do in every situation. If we're keeping it 100, let's keep it 100. You feel these things. Let's keep it 100. You feel these things. Somebody else does too, okay? Other people do too. So don't act like, oh no, like no. You feel that. So let's not paint it out to be like, I'm the one. Cool, no. Okay, cool. I'm getting emotional, right? So when I read that, I'm like, messy can never help themselves. When you're messy, you remain messy. So not only are you being messy in your quote tweet, let me go look at what you've been liking and what you've been responding to. So why am I seeing, of course you didn't read the caption. It was all fun and games until it backfired on the four of you. It absolutely was not at all. It was childish and I'm too grown for that, honestly. You're too grown? Too grown for what? You constantly talk about him. You constantly say all these things. You constantly use people. Let's look at track records. Why are you the one who constantly keeps burning bridges and using people, but you're too grown? No, you can't. You say worse. Let's keep it 100. You've said worse. So my tweet that kind of set it all off was, no, Manny, stay out of it. And And think about who your friends are. He drug you down, did a half-assed apology, and no one is buying. Trust me, it's been an eye-opening 24 hours, is his response. I looked at other tweets he was liking. I wouldn't stay friends with someone that put me in a bad position and created all this drama. Why are you liking this? Yeah, I may have started this, but let's not act like you don't feel like this. If not worse, because I've heard you say worse.
Gabby advised that he also went on to see if anyone else was liking shady tweets. He found that Nikita hadn't liked anything but in Laura's tweets and replies. He saw her response to someone where she said me, Manny, and Nikita didn't have any part in the tweet Gabby posted, and that they asked Gabby to remove it, and he did. However, Gabby clarified that there was no we in this equation. As mentioned earlier, he asked Laura what he could do to better the situation, and she asked him to take the tweet down, which he did.
Let's not act like I was told to do anything. Let's not act like that. Then she says, I did not ever like or comment the photo. Manny did, without reading the caption, and within a few seconds, he removed his comment and like. Okay, so you're defending someone, and let's keep that clear. She did defend him, and she didn't have to say, Manny did, but he took it down, just so you're aware. Since your apology's gone out, where is he on this? Because that's your best friend. And to hear them constantly complain of, well, this person liked this tweet and it was shady about me. Constantly, they've been aware for years that liking something shady is obvious, that responding something shady is obvious. They're creating that narrative and it's obvious. These are my friends. I saw them.
Gabby says that it was at this point that he had to figure out what he wanted to do for himself, and he wanted to personally apologize to Jeffree. He wrote out a long text, sent it, and received a response back. They spoke on the phone and Gabby apologized for everything, for allowing himself to create a negative image of someone in his mind based on what he was told when he had never had these experiences with Jeffree himself. He also said that a lot of clarity came from his conversation with Jeffree.
A lot of things made a lot more sense once I heard the other side of the story. I thought my friends are gonna tell me the truth. That's not always the case. So when he explained situations that I thought, why is he being irrationally angry? It made sense why he was mad in this situation and this situation. It made a lot more sense that I'm like, am I being lied to? Why?
Gabby told Jeffree that he wanted to apologize to him publicly and asked if he could do so, to which Jeffree agreed. Gabby said he took 24 hours and realized that he needed to cut Manny out of his life, which is something that he wanted to do ever since Manny threw Laura under the bus when she and Jeffree fell out last year. This is an interesting point because at that time, I remember wondering why Laura was taking all the heat in this situation, whereas Manny seemed to slip by, so I definitely believe Gabby when he says that this was basically when he started seeing Manny in a different light. Now, if you haven't seen Gabby's video and you want to hear more about what went down behind the scenes in regards to his friendship with Manny, I highly suggest checking it out because he doesn't hold back. He's very raw and real, and I believe that this is his truth. I obviously don't know Gabby, but he comes across as someone who is loyal and authentic, and you can almost feel his emotion through the screen as if you were sitting right in front of him. Personally, I think Gabby redeemed himself by just being honest and real with his audience. And I think Gabby's gained subscribers for August 22nd reflect that. All we want as viewers is honesty and accountability. Of course, some of those new subscribers are due to Jeffree tweeting and retweeting Gabby's video to his audience, but I think a lot of them are people who respect Gabby for what he did. His video was truly eye-opening, and I commend him for sharing his truth. In my opinion, the way Manny and Laura handled the situation, or were advised by their teams to handle the situation, played a huge part in their downfall. Personally, I think people are very forgiving when they see others facing their issues head-on and owning their wrongdoings, but both Manny and Laura totally missed the mark here. Anyway, following the upload of Gabby's video, Jeffree posted a snap of himself watching the video. As you can see, he was very emotional about it.
Yeah, I may have started this, but let's not act like you don't feel like this. If not worse, because I've heard you say worse. Is it 26 minutes?
This snap was quickly deleted, but Jeffree took to Twitter and wrote, "Wow." Stacy replied to Jeffree saying, "What is happening? Why are you crying, girl?" Obviously referring to Jeffree's snap. Jeffree replies back to Stacy linking Gabby's video. Later that night, Jeffree took to Snapchat to publicly accept Gabby's apology.
Okay, so I just watched Gabriel Zamora's new video titled My Truth. I want to first off say, Gabriel, thank you for apologizing to me. You are the only person to look me man to man, eye to eye, and actually say sorry. Thank you for that. I accept your apology. After watching your video, like, I sat here and cried for 10 minutes. There has been so many moments when I've wanted to just sit on camera and click play and speak my truth, and I was so afraid, and I promised myself I wouldn't do it. I loved and respected these people. I won't do it. And just thank you for being honest. So many people in this beauty community are scared and they don't speak up, so just thank you.
He followed his snap by saying, "The truth always sets you free. Always." Then the reactions from other influencers started rolling in. Thomas Halbert subtweeted, "Yes, there was an influencer in 2015 who made everyone in the industry hate me and not work with me. Yes, they were someone I looked up and idolized, and yes, I did plan to get revenge on them. Maybe I'll film a video about it one day. I don't know, lol. This shit put me in a horrible depression and had me trying to OD in 2016. I've never felt so unwanted and hated by people ever. These same people were constantly suddenly in my mentions this year when I've gained a tiny sliver of popularity on YouTube, also because I had dirt." Now, Thomas quickly deleted these tweets, but I have it on good authority that he was talking about Manny and potentially Laura. Certain things line up with what I know. James Charles tweeted a simple shocked emoji and Patrick Star responded subliminally. Following Laura's apology, Patrick liked this tweet of a video of Laura. The caption read, "Laura Lee making a jump cut to put a water drop on her cheek is the cringiest moment of 2018. Patrick also liked a bunch of other unfavorable tweets towards Manny and Laura, which you can pause and read through. Early on August 22nd, Patrick tweeted, "Now you know 100. Jeffrey actually copied Patrick's aforementioned tweet as I saw it in my notifications, but when I went to grab it, he must have just deleted it and my notification expired by that point. However, yesterday he tweeted this photo using the same caption. Interestingly, Nikita tweeted this gif of Beyonce and Nicki Minaj giggling. Now, I don't know if this was in reference to Gabby's video in this situation, but her next tweet definitely was. She wrote, "Ride or die." Now, this is a pretty common phrase, but Gabby used it in his video as well, and we know that Gabby and Nikita are best friends. In his video, Gabby made reference to one person having his back during this drama, and it's obviously Nikita. It will be interesting to see how this plays out now that Gabby has cut Manny off. I know that Nikita is better friends with Laura than she is with Manny, so we'll see if she cuts ties with him as well. Gabby has removed all traces of Manny from his Instagram account aside from 2 group photos. All photos of him and Laura still remain. Anyway, something else that was brought to my attention was this video by Stephanie Lang, which she uploaded last night, titled "Laura Lee and Gabriel Zamora Apology, Girl Just Stop." In her video, she of course talks about what's going on in the beauty community at the moment, but she also mentions, without giving names, that there's a person in what she describes as that clique that she followed on Instagram around 5 years ago. That person also followed her at the time and they used to like and comment on each other's photos. They both followed another person on Instagram who was doing really well at the time. We'll call her Jane so it's easier to follow. No one really knows who Jane is anymore, but at the time she was considered huge. Stephanie goes on to say that she would see this person on every single comment on every photo Jane would upload, and that this person was absolutely sucking up to Jane. According to Stephanie, they would beg Jane to meet up and hang out, and they actually did meet and collab and became friends. Stephanie says that she started seeing this person on Jane's Instagram and they used Jane to grow their own following. Once they drained Jane's resources, they moved on to a bigger influencer, and it's basically been the same pattern over and over. Now, although Stephanie is very careful not to name the person she's referring to, it fits right in line with what people are saying about Manny. If you go back to the early days of Manny's Instagram, you'll see that Stephanie was an avid supporter of his, so I'm going to assume that Stephanie is talking about Manny as well. And whatever happened between Manny and Marlena from Makeup Geek? That is what I really want to know. Anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at HereForTheT2, and I'll talk to you again soon in my next video. Bye!